Most network transports make you choose clean signal or flexible connectivity. The TEAC NT-507T refuses to pick. While other brands bolt on a single Ethernet jack and call it done, TEAC packed 3 network connections: SFP, Wi-Fi 6, and wired Ethernet all in one chassis. That's huge at this price point because it's typically something you'd only find in units that cost twice as much. And that one decision changes everything about how and where you can build your audio system. In this video, we're going to teach you exactly how each connection type works, why it matters for your sound, and how to know if the NT-507T is the missing piece in your system. The NT-507T's connection options solve a major problem. A problem that I actually ran into myself when setting up my desk for this review. My space is tight. Between the papers, the desktop speakers, and my standing desk, there's just not much real estate to work with. Ethernet ports are occupied, and long cable runs just aren't always an option. So Wi-Fi was the obvious fallback. But that meant relying on a wireless connection to carry every bit of that high-res data cleanly, with no wired backup if it hiccuped mid-listening session. Little did I know, but my desk was actually the kind of setup that the NT-507T is built for. One where you need the flexibility to switch between connection types instead of being stuck with whichever one you happen to plan your system around. Now yeah, maybe your Wi-Fi works just fine, and you're thinking you don't need 3 different connection options. But that's not really the point here. This isn't about your connection failing today. It's about not being boxed into a single option as your space, your gear, and your setup changes down the line. Okay, one quick note before we get into it. This is a dedicated network transport, which means that there's no internal DAC. So you'll need to pair it with an external USB-capable DAC to actually hear anything. You know, think of it as the traffic controller that's sending digital data downstream to your other gear and eventually to your ears. So with that being said, here's where it earns its price tag. It has an SFP optical port, which is genuinely rare for something that you would see at this price point. Usually you're looking at components costing 2 to 3 times as much before you find one that's built right in. So instead of that noise riding along your copper Ethernet cable straight into your system, the optical connection fully isolates your network from electrical noise so that there's no interference sneaking through. Then you've also got that dual network interface, SFP, RJ45 Ethernet, and Wi-Fi 6 with a LAN selector switch on the back panel so that you can flip between each one. There's even a dedicated Roon-only switch if that's your primary way of listening. And the USB side is just as thought out. You've got a USB-C port on the front, 2 USB-A ports on the back, one built to output to your external DAC, and the other to plug into a flash drive, an external hard drive, or an SSD, and use the NT-507T as a basic music server. So if you've got that large digital music library sitting on a drive somewhere, you don't need a separate computer running just to use it. And if you want the full spec breakdown with all the photos, I put together a complete written review on our blog, links in the description below, check it out. Before we continue though, I've got a question for you. We talk a lot about gear on this channel, but do you ever find that the hardest part is figuring out what piece is actually the right next step for your specific setup? I know I do sometimes. So we want to take the guesswork out of it for you and help you find your true audio nirvana. We built a simple quiz that's going to help you identify exactly where you're at in that journey. You'll then get a personalized profile with several custom guides to match, plus a chance to enter our monthly Dragon Cable giveaway while you're there. So when you're ready to dial in your setup, just click the first link in the description below, check it out, take that quiz, enter the giveaway, you won't regret it. Now let's get back to the video. So here's the thing about this component. It doesn't have a display screen. And that's on purpose. You've got no screen, no giant array of buttons, just a simple set of status LEDs and 3 playback controls right here on the front panel. 6 of those LEDs will tell you the status of things like MQA, USB, those Ethernet connections, Wi-Fi, and Roon Ready at a glance. Plus you have the power switch and a front USB-C port. And if you actually want to go even further, there's actually a physical switch just to turn off the front panel lights entirely. So for anyone who's chasing every last bit of performance, you've got it right here. Fewer components means less internal noise, and less noise means the engineers don't have to spend money filtering out a problem that they never created in the first place. Every part in a component like this one affects performance, and a display screen is no exception. It introduces electrical noise that has to be filtered back out. So instead of adding a screen and then adding more parts to clean up after that, TEAC just left it out. The build itself follows TEAC's usual approach too. Small form factor, aluminum top panel, isolation feet, and it's available in black or silver so that you can actually match the rest of your rack. It's sized to fit in an equipment rack, sit on a bookshelf, or tucked into a corner of a crowded desk, which is what happened with my setup. As for actually using and controlling the device, they made that pretty simple too. You can control the whole thing through Roon, the TEAC app, or any open home compatible app if you'd like. So the screen was never really doing anything for you anyways. It was just something to look at. Now under the hood, we've got TEAC's Network Engine G4. It's paired with a linear power supply and 4 winding toroidal transformers, and each winding is dedicated separately to the network, USB, Wi-Fi, and LED sections. And that kind of separation matters because it keeps the power feeding every part of the circuit clean and independent instead of letting noise from one section bleed into another. I actually put that to the test at my desk, pairing it with the iFi Audio IDSD Valkyrie DAC headphone amp and the Meze Audio Strata headphones, all connected with our Silver Dragon audio cables. I ran everything through Roon over Wi-Fi, and I actually checked out Qobuz Connect 2, which worked without a single hiccup. I was able to use my smartphone, log into Qobuz, and directly access the NT-507T off the network. What stood out for me most was the timing accuracy here. On the track Love Me by the 1975, there's a moment in the chorus where the electric guitar just bounces between the left and right channel, and the NT-507T captured that switch vividly and precisely. I didn't feel like it was smearing together or delayed. Now on the spec side of things, it does support PCM up to 768 kHz, 32-bit, and DSD up to 22.5 MHz. So it's not going to be the bottleneck no matter how high res your library gets. And it plays nicely with basically every major streaming service too. Qobuz, Spotify, Tidal, and TuneIn are all supported natively. Now who is the NT-507T for? I would say that if you're the kind of listener who's already invested in that serious external DAC and you just want a clean, dedicated source feeding it, then this is the piece you've been missing. It's not built for someone who wants the one-box solution that does everything. It's built for the person who already knows what they want that box to do, and they just need the right one. So there you have it. The TEAC NT-507T provides that pure digital performance that doesn't need a screen to justify itself. It just needs the right engineering underneath. If you've already got that great DAC, this is the piece that stops your laptop or your phone from being the weak link in your signal chain. You're getting SFP, Wi-Fi 6, and Ethernet in one component. Connectivity that's usually reserved for gear costing 2 to 3 times as much. It's built to just disappear into the background and deliver clean data, connection after connection. So if you're ready to make that next step, but aren't sure what DAC you want to pair with it, watch this video next. We've got a roundup of the top 4 DACs under $2,000 that pair beautifully with the NT-507T. Go check that out if you're ready to make that DAC upgrade. Get your NT-507T, and we'll catch you next time.